Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. We made it to Thursday morning. Oof, it's Thursday already. Big day. Big day. Okay. So, before we jump into this suppression hearing, which is really interesting with Bodycam, but we don't get to see the Bodycam, we get to hear it. We're gonna go into a meltdown. Yep. This woman, oh my gosh. Alright, let's just go. I can't prepare you for her. No matter what I say, you won't be prepared.
On and everything up to the court, Your Honor, I won't ask for anything.
Okay. And I'll note, Ms. Eubanks, I don't assume that you saw the probable cause affidavit in that case, but the named alleged victim involves members of the district attorney staff. So he's indicating that they'll be seeking a special prosecutor on that case. In that case, bond is already set in the amount of a $500 cash or surety. And then bond is not yet set in the 26M 345 case. Did the people wish? Go ahead, Ms. Eubanks, go ahead.
No, I'll let the district attorney ask what bond they're looking at on that case. And is that the resisting arrest judge and the traffic violation?
Correct.
Okay.
Resisting arrest, obstructing a peace officer, etc.
Doing what? A peace officer?
Obstructing?
What's that mean?
I can read you the definition if you would like.
I'm not understanding the word you're saying. Let me try pulling this out because this has an echo in it right now. Please try saying that word again.
Sure. It's obstructing a peace officer.
Obstructing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know what that word means. Sorry, this thing is echoing in my ear.
Okay, sorry about that. I can try and speak more clearly as well. All right, so sounds like that.
My attorney, can I hear her out here?
Yes.
I'm going to try actually with that out because it's echoing. Yeah, no, it's echoing too much. And my voice is echoing in there too.
All right, Mr. Clark.
Your Honor, also on 341, I would ask for a no contact protection order for the Sherry Warnock and in the district attorney's office, and also for no contact with the DA's office. You know.
All right. And did you wish to be heard in relation to bond in 345?
Yes, Your Honor. I think in 345, I do note that Ms. Tosi does have a felony case pending in Pueblo, 25 CR 748. I do believe it's possible that there's, competence issues that have been raised in that case. In this case, Your Honor, I believe that a $500 cash or surety bond would be appropriate in this case as well.
All right. Thank you. And Ms. Eubanks.
Tracy.
Ms. Eubanks, are you there?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
She's barely there, guys. This lawyer drives me insane. So, as much as this lady is going to annoy you, this lawyer annoys me more. This lawyer is supposed to be in court right now. I mean, it's fine she's on WebEx, but she's try to participate a little bit. 18 months, Kelly. That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I've been watching Captain Crunch a lot lately. Here you go.
Judge, I would ask for, I don't think that Ms. Tosi can make any sort of a monetary bond. I'm familiar with her limited financial resources. She usually lives out of her truck. She goes to, I think, Loaves and Fishes. She goes to get subsidized food because she can't afford food. She's on Social Security, disability benefits, and has been for quite some time. So I would be asking the court for a PR bond or a low cash surety bond.
Thank you. Given that there's the bond in the 26M 341, in 26M 345, I'll set it as $100 cash or surety. Did you have any objection to the protection order requested in the 341 case?
So how much
Hold
is
on,
my
hold-
bond altogether then?
Hold on. Ms. Eubanks, did you have an objection to the protection order?
The protection order the protection order in this case, or the protection order against the no contact with the district attorneys?
So he's seeking a protection order
You know, the one he just asked for right now, just a second ago, that one.
for
Yeah.
Sherry Warnock and not to communicate with the DA's office.
I don't have an objection with, I don't know who Sherry Warnock is, but I don't really think I have an objection to that. But no contact with the district attorney's office, I don't think that's very feasible, especially due to the fact that she's a victim in 3 cases right now.
And I believe Ms. Warnock is an employee of the district attorney's office.
Well, I don't think she needs to have contact with that particular employee.
He's a receptionist, Your Honor.
I think that's the allegation in the case.
Oh, okay.
It relates to communications of that kind through the district attorney's office and this individual as a receptionist.
Oh, okay. I can kind of envision it all right now without reading a thing. So yeah, I don't think we need to have any contact with Miss Tosi needs any contact with Miss Warnock, but not just a blanket no contact or.
Your Honor, I would ask then that
Can you speak into the microphone so Ms. Eubanks can hear you better?
that any contact with the DA's office would be through Ms. Eubanks.
And that was something along the lines of what the court was contemplating. Ms. Eubanks, any objection to that? So communication, third-party communication with the district attorney's office through you and or any other attorney that she may have.
Well, that's fine, but I don't think I should be responsible for VRA and victim advocates having conversations with her. I just don't think I should be responsible for that. That's not on top of me as well as everything else. I can communicate some things with her, but I think that there are also this under VRA.
Well, I don't think VRA technically are employees of the district attorney's office. My understanding is that they're somewhat separate, or at
You
least that's
actually
how
have to
it's
call the DA's
that's
office
how
to
it's
speak to the victim's advocate.
always been represented to me.
You contact the
hold on,
DA's
Ms.
office
Tosi,
for the
hold
victim's
on.
advocates.
Hold on. The other issue is I think the district attorney would necessarily communicate any VRA type offer, et cetera, through counsel to avoid those. I think that's how it tell me. I mean, the parties can certainly.
It's not abnormal, Your Honor, especially where they have more than, where they're victims and they're defendants, where there's a conflict that creates a conflict on its face. And in those cases, we try.
Just go ahead with it, Your Honor, because I don't even want to have contact with the DA's office.
Okay. You might want to get ready to adjust your volume because it might get too much for you in a second. Not like extra loud, just too much.
They violated my victim's rights anyways repeatedly. That's where the problem stems, is the repeat violation of my rights through that office.
So I understand your concern. I don't want to craft an order that will either subject named or alleged victims to continued issues or to deprive Ms. Tosi of her rights, whether she intends to use them or not under the Victims' Rights Act. So I'm happy to consider reasonable alternatives.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I understand your position,
the
but
DA's office ever again.
and Ms. Eubanks,
Judge,
yes.
I've always been able to facilitate when I represent a victim, any offers, or if they want to talk, if the district attorney wants to talk to them. I also, ask my client if they want to talk to the district attorney's office. We can do that through me. Obviously, Ms. Tosi is obviously welcome to make any sort of a statement, object to any sort of a plea, and, make her, and I.
JK, You won't be able to help it in a second. You listen, her voice is penetrating. Yeah.
It can certainly be her voice for that. But I'm talking more about, any victims advocates, that are talking with Miss Tosi, getting restitution, advising of court dates. Those are the things that I don't want to take on additionally, because that's not my role.
Because it's not your role as her lawyer to advise her of her court dates. You're right, ma'am. Sorry to bother you. Eubanks.
Sure.
The thing is, Your Honor, that's what this is about, is they have been failing to do that. They've been failing to do anything to comply with my rights as a victim.
Ms. Tosi, we're not going to get into all that right now, okay? So here's what I will do. I will put in place a no contact protection order with Sherry Warnock, so you have no contact with her. Vacate the home, stay away from any place that she is likely to be found.
I don't even know who this woman is.
Okay. And then as a condition of the bond, with the exception, I'll say the victim's advocate is an exception, but otherwise communicate with the 11th Judicial District Attorney's Office via your attorney. If there are issues with that going forward, I'm happy to revisit this. I do want to have it be consistent with Ms. Tosi's rights, as well as the concerns of any protected persons or other interested persons, whether or not Ms. Tosi intends to exercise those rights.
And
so I'm
please, are
happy
you going to
to
bring up the fact that I am wanting to waive my right to a second opinion here in Canyon City?
And right there is contempt of court, Judge. Just nip it in the bud. Do it right now. No? Okay.
Right. I will set the court date, okay, and we will talk about that. Today's not the court date to talk about that.
All right.
How much is my bond?
You have one bond that's 500 cash or surety. You have one
I'm
bond
gonna be stuck in jail
that's
forever.
100 cash or surety. And then I don't know if there's any other bonds in any other cases.
Can you
Ms.
please bring down that 500 so I can get out, so I can't stay here by...
Ms. Eubanks, are you here? I have the 16th at 3, but perhaps that doesn't work on your calendar. I think that's anticipating.
Court on the 15th too for my dog.
Judge, I start a double murder on June 15th, and it's going to go a full 2 weeks in El Paso County.
Okay. When would you like to schedule this, Ms. Eubanks?
That means I'm gonna be stuck in jail forever because I can't afford that money.
Judge, I can come on June 29th.
Oh my God, you're gonna keep me in jail that long, woman. That's not...
The court's not in session on that date.
There we go. How about June?
My God.
June 30th?
I want out of
So
here.
we're not in
I'm
session.
leaving, Your Honor.
All
This
right.
is bullshit because I'm gonna be trapped in jail and I didn't even do nothing wrong.
All right, Ms. Tosi, you're
No,
certain.
get away from me. Get away from me. I'm sitting down. Just get away from me. I want to talk to my attorney.
All right, Ms. Tosi, right now, the only thing that we're doing is setting a next date.
Get away from me.
If you want to stay, you can, but you need to stop disrupting, okay?
Well, then can we just have my court tomorrow?
So it sounds like your attorney's not available on that.
Please, Tracy,
So,
be available just for a
Ms.
little bit.
Tosi,
Please.
Ms. Tosi, so what we're talking about is scheduling. So Ms. Eubanks, we're not in session the week of the 29th or the 6th, with the exception of July 10th in front of Judge Bull.
My God, that's so far out.
So I can,
Judge, I don't know what to do. If we could just set it for the soonest date, I don't know what to do. I'm gone that week then. I'm gone. I'm gone that week. I'm gone the 4th.
Tracy, are you available tomorrow?
the dates that I have, we're in session all this week, next week, and the week after. I understand that you're in a trial.
Yes.
I don't know when a special prosecutor is going to be available, but we'll set it and then they'll have to sort that
Can
out.
we do it now, Your Honor? Can we please just do it now?
We're doing this right now, Mr.
No, can we just do my case now so she can be here so I don't have to wait a whole month?
So,
Let me,
Ms. Eubanks,
let me, Hold on, let me look at my calendar for this week, Judge, okay? I am unfortunately the only day I would be able.
Can we just do it now, Your Honor,
She's
please?
looking at her calendar.
Tracy, can you ask
Don't-
her if she can just do it now, please?
We're doing things right now, Miss Tosi.
Can we ask if we
Miss
can just do the
Tosi.
hearing now, Tracy, please?
Just give me one moment, okay? We can't do the hearing right now. I don't even have any information about the case.
Well, I just
Okay.
want you to tell her that I want to waive my right to a second opinion and
Okay,
just have
that's a-
dismissed on incompetency.
That's a different
Okay,
case,
that's-
and not all of the charges that you have are eligible for that any longer, okay? So, Ms. Eubanks, you're looking at your calendar for this week.
I am. I don't know if this helps at all or not, Judge, but I'm there on Wednesday morning. I'm actually there all day Wednesday, Judge. I have a 2:00 prelim, and then I'm there in the morning as well.
I can set it on Wednesday. I don't know that we'll have, a special prosecutor on board by then. I would think that's
Yeah.
relatively unlikely, but I can set it and then the people can file a motion with more information. How about?
Can you just leave this prosecutor on? It's fine. I don't care if they think if it's a possible conflict. I just want to get this done, Your Honor. I want
Well-
the ability to leave Colorado.
So you
I've
and
got
your
a
attorney
place
can
I
talk
can
about it.
go. I've got family I can go stay near. I have places where I can actually have better opportunities at housing, mental health care, and medical care in Minnesota, and I just want to get out of here.
No, she doesn't. That was
Well,
a
what I'll
lie.
do is I can set it this Wednesday, the 10th. The parties can have more conversations. You and Ms. Eubanks can speak more fully off the record and outside of the presence of everyone else assembled, and the people can see what progress can be made. I can do that at either 11:30 or at 3.
Let's do 11:30. I don't know how long the prelim will last, Judge.
Can the people accept that?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're certainly free to follow up with a motion with more information about special
Can you
cross. and
tell
whatnot.
these people that they need to stop violating my rights and refusing to allow me to contact my attorney? And I need my attorney's phone number that works because the one on the card doesn't work. It's the one I've been contacting you on, and
She wants to go to Missouri. Missouri.
they lost my phone, they lost my glasses, they lost my
All right.
keys.
So, Ms. Eubanks, if you want to provide a phone number, we can get that written down for Ms. Tosi, if you don't mind.
And
It's
what is-
711.
why am
Hold
I being menacing?
Hold
What
on.
is the menacing? Why am I being charged with that?
Your attorney's going to give you her phone number right now, so let's be quiet so we can hear it, please. Go
It's 719 2.
All right.
Are you joking,
Thank you.
Tracy?
All right.
I'm just coughing on some water. I'm okay. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll adjourn in this matter until Wednesday. That's the 10th at 11.
Well, can you please tell me first why I am, you said on one of those is menacing?
The district attorney is going to provide your attorney with all of the discovery, so you and Ms. Eubanks can have a full conversation about what the allegations.
Judge, I wanted to know. I wanted to know what she did to the whole prosecutor's office.
All right.
Nikki, I can call you at the jail tomorrow. Okay, so don't worry about calling me. I'll call you tomorrow at the jail.
All right. Thank you.
Tracy, I
everyone.
can't stay in this jail.
You know, I will call you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Tosi, we're going to move on to some other cases now, okay? Thank you very much.
What time is that?
11:30.
That's where I got that. Just verifying.
No, it's twisted and I can't get it. It's stuck. Oh, I can't walk with this one because it's twisted hard and it's caught on my ankle bone. There we go. Oh, sit there.
I just want to go out to dinner with her so she can send my steak back for me. Oh, man. Oh, that would be so funny. Okay, now we're going to go to into a suppression hearing, which is pretty interesting. We're going to start at the body cam, but we don't see the body cam. We just listen to it. We listen to the traffic stop. So what they're saying is that during the traffic stop, this is going to shock you, they found drugs. So her lawyer is saying no, he had no right to search her because, you know, the traffic stop was just about the registration, blah, blah, blah. He had no right to get a dog in to sniff her car. So none of that can be used in her hearing. Nothing the dogs found, nothing the other officer found when she searched her, none of that can be used. That's what they're trying to get kept out of the trial. And only at the very end does the audio get a little crackly. But we hear what the judge finally says.
Okay. So where you come from tonight?
At Nido, I went and picked up my nephew and niece.
You went to Nido just now?
Yeah, I went to Nido.
Okay.
Why, what's going on?
So I was on K9, right?
Yeah.
I was narcotics detection dog.
Yeah,
And then
I understand.
methamphetamine, heroin,
Yes,
cocaine, fentanyl, MDMA, ecstasy, okay?
yes, I understand.
I was having my dog under.
This is absolutely not sped up. He just, during this traffic stop, talks so fast that it's all one word. He takes all of his words and makes them all one word.
Yeah, okay?
That's okay.
You show change behavior on the vehicle. Is there anything inside the vehicle I need to know about?
No,
Is there any fentanyl,
I don't think so.
methamphetamine,
No,
cocaine,
no,
heroin,
no,
MDMA, ecstasy?
No.
Is there large amounts of U.S. currency inside the vehicle?
no,
No. Is there any weapons inside the vehicle, such as a large knife or guns, bazookas, bombs?
no,
No. Is there a dead body in the vehicle?
no.
Okay, good. You'd be surprised what we come across, okay? So I was trying my dog.
Is there a bazooka, bomb, or dead body in the vehicle? I guess they are important questions. A cop never asked me that before, though. I felt gypped.
You show change behavior in public costume shirts of vehicle as well as everyone, okay? Do you have anything on you?
I don't have anything on me.
You don't have anything on you, okay? Would you mind emptying your pocket and put it on right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything?
No.
That's good, okay. You just got a knife right there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's see. Are you wearing a bra underneath?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
And I
take
can take it out.
I want you to take the bra and shake it like this, okay? Don't pull it up. Show me. I guess my the bra, shake it so it can fall out of there. Nothing like that.
Mhm.
Anything inside your pants?
No,
Okay. What side of the vehicle is yours?
the whole vehicle's mine.
Vehicle. Bags, purses,
Everything's,
everything. So if there's a bag in there, it's yours.
well.
Yeah.
It's my car.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I just want to ask you this, okay? So there shouldn't be any fentanyl in the vehicle?
No.
Shouldn't be. Do you use narcotics?
No.
No? Okay. So I've been doing this job for a while, okay? Where's the fentanyl at?
He went back to fentanyl specifically because he asked her, is there any cocaine, heroin? No. Marijuana? No. Is there any fentanyl in the car? There shouldn't be. That's why he went back to that one.
Where's the fentanyl? I don't know, sir.
You don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
So if I search this vehicle, I'm not going to find fentanyl pills right now. Or fentanyl powder. Nothing.
Go ahead and look.
I'm going to search it real quick. Okay. And these are your nephews and nieces.
Yes.
Okay. Let me hang tight with the officer. We're going to search the vehicle. We'll get done as quick as you can. This is your house, you said?
Yeah, this is my house.
Okay. So your keys, I'm going to hold on to because there's a knife on there. Okay. Just to make sure I said everyone's safe. I'm going to make sure that you're not going to be in trouble. We're not going to get in trouble, right?
Mhm.
We mean trouble, mean stabbing someone, right? I'm not saying you would do that, but times are crazy, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else to let you know about. Okay. Well, I'll go back over to the kids and hang out, all right? Let's search it. Change behavior on the passenger side. She's saying there shouldn't be fentanyl here, so we'll see. She said she came from Antonido.
Oh.
She's driving this way. She left the gas station, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta search real quick.
Let the record reflect. People pause the video at 12 minutes and 19 seconds. Corporal Bernard, just a follow-up question. When you approached that police cruiser, that's Officer Sarmiento in there?
Correct.
What was he doing there?
He was finishing up the citation.
So he was tweeting thumb on the phone was the citation?
Correct.
Okay. Let the record reflect. People resume the video at 12 minutes and 19 seconds.
Now, almost page 32. Show us on a PC search. And is there a female trooper or female officer deputy that's close to Alamosa? Okay, copy. Good. Can you see if one of them are willing to come down here to Alamosa to do a female search on this female, please? Marco, just watch her. Can please.
The PC is stupid. The PC is, I mean, it's valid. It's 100% valid. She, the drug dealer, put this sparkly, glittery stuff over her registration. So it was not visible. So he pulled her over because her registration was not visible like it's supposed to be by law. Listen, guys, I say it over and over and over and over again. If you're gonna commit a crime, don't commit a crime. For the love of God, why would you cover your registration if you're dealing fentanyl? Sorry, that's the probable cause. Valid.
Yeah, I asked her about fentanyl, and she goes, shouldn't be. Methamphetamine, no. Heroin, no. Cocaine, no. So that's what makes me wonder if there's something in here.
Yeah.
Well, not makes me wonder. He was just sniffing. He was stopping, putting his nose up here going an odor.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not a high vehicle, so not going to jump. But yeah, he was an odor right here. But I think she might have it on her purse, and that's what's freaking me out about this. So I definitely want to get someone to search her. And then we'll check the kids also.
Oof. And I get it. Because they do hide the stuff on the kids. Those kids are going to be searched right now. That sucks. Just sucks. I'm excited for you as well.
Clear bags.
Clear bags, anything in it?
No. About 2 blue fentanyl pills in this.
I have a bag. I should get it and show you. I have a bag in my purse, like this big. And it says right on the bag full of drugs. I love my bag full of drugs.
Sweet. Okay, perfect. Ooh. See, my dog nose does not lie.
Let the record reflect. People pause the video at 15 minutes and 08 seconds. Corporal Bernright, based on what we're seeing on this body worn camera, seems like there were 2 fentanyl pills that was suspected fentanyl pill that was located.
Correct.
And it was Officer Sarmiento.
Correct.
I mean, it's kind of hard to see from my angle on this, on the body worn camera. Did you remember seeing where he's finding those pills from?
I believe it was on the passenger side door, like a little cubby thing on the side, like a Michael Kors hand wallet thing.
It's a wallet?
Yeah.
And was it inside a wallet or?
I believe it was inside the wallet.
Did he pull it up from the wallet?
Believe so.
Okay. And then, if I remember correctly, you guys continue to search this vehicle from the front to back?
Correct.
Is there any other contrabands you find in the vehicle?
Yeah, I located a glass pipe, if I remember correctly, inside the center console. It had like a white residue, which through training experience is possibly suspected crystal methamphetamine.
But no further actual controlled substances?
Correct.
The 2 pills are the only ones you find in the vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. Let the record reflect people will forward the video to 25 minutes and 36 seconds.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few more questions about the vehicle. Okay. Before I ask you more questions, I have to read your Miranda rights. Okay. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against the court of law. You have the right to an attorney, to have an attorney present while you're being questioned. If you want an attorney cannot afford one we would appoint you before any questioning. The Miranda warning is, do you understand each of these rights is explained, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Understanding these rights, do you wish to make a statement about the vehicle? I'm going to ask you about the vehicle.
Let the record reflect people pause the video at 26 minutes and 04 seconds. So Corporal Vera, at this point, why you read Miranda rights to the defendant?
Due to the suspected fentanyl pills that we found inside the vehicle, when we first originally talked to her, she said everything inside the vehicle was hers. So I just want to reconfirm that under Miranda.
Okay. And at this point, was she free to leave?
No.
Let the record reflect people forward the video to 50 minutes and 1 second.
Bodily injuries, their policy number and expiration date.
Let's see.
So effective expiration is 9/25. Can you,
Let's see.
can you pull up like what vehicle it's,
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Let me,
Thank you, Donald. 23 months. Thank you. One more month. One more month
Just
makes
have
it
it.
2 years.
download. So here's my policy number.
Perfect. Okay, policy number. And 2A as this.
The move will be fine because I don't care about much. I don't get upset about pretty much anything. You know, we're just going to move our stuff from one house to another house. As long as I can sit. I can go out back. I mean, I got to work today, so I'm going to do a bulk of it after work. And then I'm going to sit. And then I'll do a bulk tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to sit. And then I'm going to take the next 2 days and just sit. See? That's it. What could go wrong? What could go wrong there?
We'll go back up to 2016. Is that 2016 or what year?
Yeah.
Okay.
2016.
2016. Crash to 300 right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you something real quick, okay?
Yeah.
So I asked you what's yours inside the vehicle, right? I asked you about the backpacks. You said those are your nephews and nieces. So everything in the glove box is yours, right? Everything that's in their console is yours. Okay. And the pink Mike 4's.
I'm not a decorator. I'm not the slightest decorator. I don't have trinkets and decorations and stuff that doesn't really have a function. Like when I buy something, it has to have a function. I would never just buy something. I get stuff for Christmas. Then I put that on the wall. In the living room, on my wall is my divorce decree. there's my decorator. Now I'm leaving her. I'm just leaving her. No. Did my best. Hey, you shut up, Bobby. Bobby, you shut up. Enough of you. I've had it. I've had it up to here with you. Let me pick on Pittsburgh. Pick on a different team.
And wallet. I'm not really too sure. It's a wallet, right?
Yeah.
You said that's your girlfriend's?
Yes.
But you keep your stuff inside and you share possession of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I give her if I don't have pockets, I give her my cards.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah.
Okay. So like I said, I've been doing this quite a long time, okay? I asked you the questions, methamphetamine, fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, MDMA, ecstasy, right?
Yeah.
You said there shouldn't be any fentanyl, right?
Yeah. And I give my girlfriend's friend or my girlfriend's cousin a ride, give her rides all the time. So
Okay.
if there's anything in there, it's not mine, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
I
So I
don't,
did find fentanyl, okay. So,
so that's,
okay.
yeah,
So,
sorry.
you're
That's
good.
crazy. You found
I
fentanyl
just
in
give
that
rights.
car?
Okay, but
No,
do you use
I don't.
narcotics?
No.
Okay. Does your girlfriend use narcotics?
No.
No?
Well, you know what? She used to shoot up,
What she used to use?
Bobby,
she
you
used
shut
to
up.
use- I used to
Bobby?
use too, but we both got clean.
Mhm.
And she ended up, relapsing because they took her off of methadone.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I have a female deputy here. We're going to search you, obviously, because I have probable cause to search the vehicle and you as well. I found fentanyl. I'm going to give you the opportunity right now. If you have anything on you, let me know, okay? Do you have anything on you? That methamphetamine?
It's hard for them to play football very well with all of those freaking rings on their fingers, Bobby. It's just hard.
Cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, and your next, nothing. So be honest, I can work with you, okay? Do you have anything on you?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
do.
What do you have?
So in the backseat before I picked up the kids,
Mhm.
there was, I think, a straw
A straw?
in the back of my car. Yeah,
What do you mean a straw?
a straw.
Like a
Like, I don't know.
drinking straw? No, I'm not asking on your person. I'm asking your person. Do you have anything on your person?
On me?
Yes, on you. I have a female deputy here, so she's going to search me.
Oh, the straw, I just told
Okay, you have the straw on you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to search. If you want to pull it out and put it up here for me, please.
Yeah.
So tutors? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's put them right here. Anything else on you? So she's going to search you. I just want to be completely honest with me.
Straw.
Straw. It's a light. Yeah. So she's going to search you. What's your name again? Dominguez. So I'm bad. It's nighttime. I'm not really good.
And I'm not day shift, so.
Yeah, as I say, I never see you at nighttime. Okay. Just turn around, put your hands on the vehicle right here.
Bite me, Donald. How dare you? How dare you? People are crossing lines today.
No, I'm not my girl.
Snoopy.
Is that what that buddy is?
Neither. Might go.
No, take a shot.
So these tutors are yours?
No, they're not mine. Like, they're on the back
I will,
seat.
JK. That's
seat?
one of the things
Yeah,
I'll
because I
do.
never really get in my car, like in the back, you know,
Okay.
but I went and picked up the kids,
Mhm.
because we went swimming, me and the other
Okay.
two kids went swimming. We went and picked up the other two kids in Antietam.
Okay.
And before they got in and came outside of the house, I made sure to get my jacket and my two work jackets
Mhm.
from the back seat, put them in the trunk,
Okay.
and that was on the floor.
Okay.
So that,
Okay. Obviously, you can't have these, so I'll have to take these for destruction, right?
okay.
But nothing else you felt?
Your hair just in a messy bun?
Yeah,
Let it down?
we just, got,
You just let it down, and put it right back.
yeah. Cause we, yep,
It's all curly. Look at that.
yeah, it's curly as part here. It's like black people's hair. That's why I always have it like.
For sure, for sure. Okay. So I'm not gonna charge you with the narcotics right now. We'll obviously have to take them. Can't let you
Yeah, that's fine.
leave the narcotics, whatever. And then take this obviously, and everything else we'll take. There's a gun in there, but it's a BB gun. It has an orange tip on it. So I
And the kid's backpack.
don't know what we found. I walked through, it's sitting there. Yeah, but it's a fake one. So
Okay,
he'll get you your stuff here in a second.
Alright.
I'll take everything out and we'll get you going here in a second.
okay, thank you.
Thanks, Denise. I appreciate
Let the record reflect people pause the video and at 55 minutes and 43 seconds and stop playing People's Exhibit 1. Just one follow-up question, Corporal Benrai. If I remember correctly, earlier we watched from BWC, Ms. LeBlanc said that her insurance on her phone, the phone was stolen. Where did that phone coming from? Because
My cell phone was stolen. Hold on. Let me get my cell phone so that I can show you that my cell phone was stolen. Oh, wait, no, this is my second phone. Don't worry about it. Snoopy, August is going to be an excellent month for surgery. Don't worry. Anybody who's having work done in August, it's going to be an excellent month for it.
we saw clearly she was showing insurance to you.
That phone was another phone she advised me that she had that was like a Wi-Fi only phone. It wasn't hooked to cellular data.
Okay.
It was just a phone that could be connected to Wi-Fi that you could send text messages on, I guess, and surf the web.
And she showed you effective insurance?
Correct.
Okay. Nothing for that at the moment, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination?
All right, let's start with why you stopped her, okay? So you didn't stop her because you suspected her of drug dealing. Is that true?
Yes, that's because of the license plate cover.
So she didn't have a warrant for her arrest.
Once I ran through dispatch, I found out she did not.
You never had any reports that she was armed.
No.
You never had any reports because she was driving recklessly through town. No evidence that she was DUI
Not at the time, no.
or driving under the influence of drugs.
Not at the time.
The sole reason for the stop was your inability to read the registration sticker. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was not clearly visible.
So is that fair to say that was the mission of your traffic stop and you pulled her over?
Beginning of it, yes.
And there was nothing more other than to determine if that registration was valid.
What do you mean by that, I guess?
So in these hearings, we're talking about the mission of the traffic stop.
Mhm.
And so you just told us that the mission of your traffic stop when you first tried to pulled her over
Mhm.
was to investigate the registration sticker. We're on the same page there?
Somewhat, I guess.
Okay, explain why we're not on the same page.
Any traffic stop can turn to anything. There's time that you stop someone for speeding, and it turns to a DUI. It turns to other different things. Initial reason for contact is, again, for the registration tabs.
Gotcha. So I want to focus in on that turn in just a second.
Okay.
Before we get to the turn when the mission kind of changed, and I agree that the mission here did change, I want to talk about before it turned, there was nothing more that you had. There's no additional cause you had other than that registration sticker before you made that turn.
Before I made contact and realized who the driver was and the residence we were at, yes. That was what I was investigating, was the registration tab. But once upon contact, I identified the driver, then yes, did take the turn.
Okay. And we'll get there in just a second, but I want to focus on before it made that change, okay? So if the registration was valid, that would have resolved your first concern for Ms. LeBlanc.
It's not because it was not valid, it was because it was not clearly visible.
Gotcha. And I think we saw in that video just now that as you were walking up with your flashlight, you did see that you could see it.
Once I manipulated my body to look over the license plate cover, then you could see it. But when I was directly behind her, it was still being covered.
And so again, we're not talking about when you kind of turned and changed your kind of mission, but before that change, once that concern was resolved, the purpose of the stop was then complete. Is that fair?
I'm not really tracking along with what you're saying.
So you pulled her over. Let's back up a second. You pulled her over to investigate a registration sticker.
The being covered, yes.
The covering of a registration sticker. That's
Correct.
why you pulled it over.
Correct.
So once you saw that it was either covered or not covered, that completes that first investigation.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, sounds good. So let's move down about what you found out about her registration. So she pulled into her own driveway, right?
Correct.
And you followed behind her.
Yeah, it was a traffic stop.
And as you got closer, like we saw in the video, you were able to actually see that it was covered up by that glitter border.
Yeah, once I manipulated my body.
And you told that to her yourself, right? That you were able to confirm?
Correct.
And you saw that there was no expired registration tags on the vehicle?
I can't remember what the expiration date was on it.
Okay, but you didn't write any ticket or anything for expired registration?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And we just watched that whole investigation. You didn't talk about expired registration?
Correct.
Okay. You weren't concerned with fictitious plates?
Once I had to run through dispatch and confirm everything, then I figured it out. But initially, I didn't know if it was or not, because so we pull someone over, you run the plate through dispatch, and they give the plate back to you, but you're not really listening to that. So at that point, I didn't know if it was fictitious or not.
Okay, but you did, over the course of this traffic stop, realize that there was no issues with fictitious plates?
Yeah, later on in the investigation.
Okay, and you realized through that same kind of call into dispatch that the plates weren't stolen or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was no violation of the registration statute at all in this case.
Just being covered, not clearly visible.
Pitfall started
Okay, was
with a
that a
television.
warning, a ticket? How did that get resolved?
Originally, we were going to cite her for that, and then later on in the investigation, watching the body worn camera, she was not able to provide proof of insurance. That's what was going to be cited for, was the license, the cover of the license plate, as well as the no insurance, not failure to provide proof of insurance upon request.
So when would you say we talked about the turn of the investigation, we talked about the traffic stop and the registration, the license plate, and kind of those standard checks.
Mm-hmm.
That was where you started, correct?
Yeah, once I identified who the driver was and that residence we were at, that's when I changed motives, I guess you'd call it.
Okay. But we still haven't gotten to that turn yet. So when you answered those questions about the license plate,
Mm-hmm.
when you answered the questions about whether or not the plates are real or not, all that kind of standard procedures that you get that information from dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
Once you had those answers, then that original turn, that original mission, that was wrapped up.
That wasn't wrapped up until they go back to the vehicle, run her license, driver's license through dispatch. At that point, usually we get confirmation that this is the vehicle. We usually ask them to send the registration to our terminal so we could look at that to confirm. So that part was not wrapped up, as you're saying, until Officer Sarmiento had possession of the registration and license to do that.
And you talked on direct about how long that normally takes, right?
Correct.
And that takes about 10 minutes at the fastest side of things.
Yeah, if you're super fast, if you have fat fingers like me, it takes a little bit longer.
And so if we have fat fingers like you, it's like 15 minutes.
It's upwards of 15 minutes, correct.
We got rid of registration stickers in PA because the police already know when they run your tags whether it's registered or not. So there's nothing to block. We can have those obnoxious things on our car now.
Okay. So I want to talk about what you kind of knew yourself before this traffic stop happened. So before the stop, you didn't observe any kind of drug activity, correct?
No, I watched her leave Alta convenience store at 725 State Avenue.
Okay. And from Alta to her home, you didn't see any exchange of drugs?
Not at the time, no.
You didn't observe any kind of exchange of money?
No.
Or you didn't see her actually consume any contraband?
No.
And you yourself didn't smell any kind of narcotics or anything like that?
Human smells not very the greatest. Dogs' nose is 100 times better than ours, so.
For sure. I guess that was a question more like you didn't smell marijuana smoke?
No.
Or didn't smell any alcohol?
No.
Okay. You didn't see any weapons while you were going from Alta Convenience to her home?
What do you mean by that?
You didn't observe any firearms in the vehicle?
Like they're waving a gun out the window or anything like that?
Correct.
No.
Didn't just checking off all the different ways you could have had a different mission. Okay. So you didn't see anything else illegal inside that vehicle? From Alta Convenience to her home, you didn't see anything else illegal?
I saw a maroon Chrysler 300 driving in front of me with a covered registration tab.
Okay. So now let's talk about kind of that turn. So you didn't, when you were there around her vehicle, you didn't observe anything in plain view?
Correct. I'm a lot taller than the vehicle, so it's kind of hard for me to, as opposed to looking inside a truck, so it's a little bit harder for me to see everything. I don't think I could really see where her lap was, and I was watching her hands mainly to make sure that she wouldn't pull a weapon out.
Gotcha. But inside that vehicle, you didn't, same question as before, you didn't see any narcotics inside the video? Inside the vehicle?
All three windows were rolled up except the driver's side windows, and they're completely blacked out. I couldn't even see inside of them. So at that point, the question, I guess, I'd say no.
Okay. And then again, you didn't kind of smell any kind of evidence of a DUI or driving under the influence of drugs or anything like that when you were standing there at the car?
Correct.
Okay. You didn't get any new information from dispatch saying, hey, we think she's a drug dealer, or we think we should kind of change the nature of this investigation at all when you're standing outside her vehicle?
Dispatch doesn't say anything like that. They don't tell you, hey, this person's suspected of illicit narcotics. That's a conversation I have with my narcotics detectives.
Okay. And there was no additional traffic violation evidence that you were able to gather from like walking around her vehicle and talking with her there
Just
in the
besides
driveway?
besides no insurance, which is a arrestable offense.
Understand. And the no insurance, that was resolved as well.
At the end of our traffic stop, yeah, watched there from the 50 some minutes we had, the last minute or so, she was able to provide, I believe it was the general insurance. But that was at the very, very end of the traffic stop.
Gotcha. So I was going to talk about that later, but we'll talk about that right now. So you're right that at that video, that was when you asked her to look at the insurance, correct?
Correct.
But before that, there was a whole bunch of other steps that happened.
Walk me through those.
Sure. So you asked her to get out of the vehicle.
Mhm.
You asked all the other passengers to get out of the vehicle.
Correct.
You ran goose around the vehicle.
Correct.
You conducted a search of the vehicle.
Correct.
You talked to Officer Sarmiento about the traffic stop. Those are just some of the.
I don't know if it was in that type of order, but yes, I did talk to him.
So those are the different steps that were completed by yourself before you asked her to show you the insurance.
No, I actually asked for license registration proof of insurance, said she didn't have it. I asked when she stepped out of the vehicle, I asked her to step the other officers while they go sit on the curb to continue looking for it throughout the traffic stop. At no point I told her to stop looking for it. So at that point, she was still continuing to look for her insurance. So I guess it might have taken her 30 minutes. She had to go through email, find passwords. I mean, you know how technology works if you don't know your passwords.
That's true, but it also could have taken 1 minute. You're not sure how long that took.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're not sure how long that took because you never checked in with her about the insurance until the end of the traffic stop.
Usually when they find it right away, they tell us because they know they're going to be getting cited for that. So usually when they find it, they say, hey, here it is. So they can get that, like you say, check mark off the box.
So that wasn't my question. My question is, did you ever ask her before the end of the traffic stop to show you her phone with the insurance on it?
I asked her at the end of it when, like I said, like the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, if she was able to find it, and she did provide it. Like I said, she said to go through different parts on her email or app, whatever it was.
Okay. So we talked about that turn. Is it fair to say the turn happened about right now in our story? Or do you disagree with that's where the turn happened?
I guess I want you to paint me a clear picture of where we're at in the story, because right now I'm all over the place. Right now I'm thinking I'm at the end of the
That's
picture.
true. So in my mind, we're at the cars parked in the driveway. Okay. And you had asked her out of the vehicle.
Correct.
And you had asked the other occupants out of the vehicle.
Correct.
And you're talking about those standard traffic citation questions we've been discussing.
Okay.
So that's where I am.
Okay.
And so I want your opinion as to where that turn happened.
The turn happened when I observed who she was and the location we were at. Like I said, 1019 Edison Avenue was relayed to me through our narcotics detective, Detective Aziz, that this residence is being looked at for illicit sales of narcotics. So when I had two and two together, the female who we were looking at, as well as the vehicle in front of the residence, that's when my traffic stop turned to more in depth, I guess you call it.
Exactly. And when did you learn that information about 1019 Edison and the ongoing drug investigation? Was that right there?
No.
It was before.
Yeah, as K9, whose job is to find narcotics, I speak to all my detectives as well as my narcotics detective on a very regular basis, if not every day, once or twice a week. I speak with them and they give me updates to people, people who are looking into, residents they're looking into, and I use my duties to try to locate and help them with whatever they needed done for search warrants or whatever.
Okay. And you knew that was Miss LeBlanc's vehicle when you saw the registration on the Alta?
I believe it was possibly because I was relayed that she drives a maroon Chrysler 300. But yeah, I didn't get behind it. I didn't have time to run the registration through dispatch, because when you do that, sometimes it takes anywhere from 30 seconds up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it depends. So it matched the description of the vehicle, but I wasn't 100% sure that it was her.
Okay. When did you realize that it was her?
When I walked up to the window was down and she handed me her ID.
So at that moment, when you walked up to the window and she handed you the ID, is that fair to say that that was the moment that this turned from a simple traffic stop to a drug investigation?
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
So just to kind of complete this story here, her young niece and nephew, they were inside the vehicle at that point,
Yeah, there's multiple juveniles in there.
and they were trying to just go inside their home.
Inside of her aunt's home, I guess. Yeah.
They weren't free to leave though. Those juveniles.
And at that point, when you kind of made this decision to turn it into a drug investigation, that's when you decided to essentially detain Miss LeBlanc. Is that fair?
What's your definition of detain, I guess?
Not free to leave at that point?
When the red and blue's go on, you're not free to leave.
Okay, so she wasn't free to leave as soon as the kind of this whole process started in her driveway.
I mean, typically if someone from my red and blue's on and someone exits the driver's side door and takes off running, they are detained. So that's what I'm kind of confused on what you're saying, because sometimes you guys ask for when they're detained physically or custodially or whatever. So I'm just want to clear it up because I'm a little confused.
But my only question was she free to leave at that moment? And it sounds like you've answered that question.
Yeah, no, she was on. It was a lawful traffic stop.
Okay, so I'd like to talk about that border around the license plate, and I have a photo of that just a second. I will. Yeah, you can have that. Your Honor, I'd like to approach with Defense Exhibit B. It's a photograph of the license plate that we've been discussing in question. May I approach?
All right, Snoopy. I know you said when the dog hits, then they can search. All right, I get that. But he pulled her over because her registration wasn't clearly visible. So the question is, was he allowed to call the dog in to begin with? That's what it's going to boil down to. Because as soon as he walked close to the vehicle and manipulated his body, he saw the registration was fine. Nothing wrong with registration.
Thank you. So, officer, when you pulled over Miss LeBlanc,
That he did correctly, JK. He did read her rights right away.
that was 9 p.m., correct?
Correct.
Just past 9 p.m.
Correct.
So it was dark outside.
Correct.
So it was a little hard to see.
I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say by that. Like, I can still see.
Sure. But this picture here that I have in front of you, this is that same license plate.
Yeah, it's the same license plate. In the daytime, that's clear.
Exactly. So I just wanted to establish that it is the same license plate. So that's the same color of the vehicle that Miss LeBlanc had.
It's maroon, yeah, but I don't know if it's the exact vehicle or what.
Okay. And that's the same license plate, CXUQ30.
I believe so. I had to look at my report to see what the license plate was.
Okay. And that's the same state, Colorado?
Correct.
And you talked about on direct a couple different times that kind of like a bedazzled glitter license plate holder. Is that fair?
Correct.
How would you describe that?
This one right here sitting in front of me.
The one from your memory or from the video you just watched?
From the video I watched, I couldn't see because it's so. I mean, there's red and blues going on. The video is not the greatest quality.
Okay. But you did describe that there was some sort of license plate cover on the CXU Q30 license plate.
Correct.
And it was some sort of, I think you described it as some sort of studded or designed license plate holder.
Something like that to that extent. Correct.
Okay. And this picture in front of you, this has that same type of license plate holder on that license plate?
I don't know if it's the same exact one. I mean, obviously this was taken probably afterwards and the license plate was probably manipulated to make it a little more clear visible. But from my knowledge, what I remember looking at, it was not clearly visible. So like I said, I can't testify to say this is the exact piece of how it was. Like I said, you can move those half an inch, quarter inch. So I can't testify to that.
Okay, and you can, when you were there, looking at this license plate, when you got kind of up close with your flashlight, you were able to see that it was a valid registration sticker.
When I manipulate my body, look down into it, I was able to look at to see that I can clearly see the month and year.
And that year, that was 2026?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
And that month was June, the number 6?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Your Honor, at this point, I'd like to introduce into evidence this photograph of the license plate holder, the license plate in the back of my client's maroon vehicle.
Any objection to it?
Yes, Your Honor. This photo appears to be from June 2026. This incident happened in May, in June of 2025, and this photo is clearly not from that night. We have no evidence to know if this is, and we don't see the whole vehicle either. We only
Bobby,
see
I'm
the
gonna
back
punch you
of
right
what
in
appears
your
to be a
throat.
maroon vehicle. We're
I'm
not
gonna
sure, and
fly over
according
there
to
and
the
I'll
trooper's
punch you right in your
testimony,
throat.
he mentioned there was a pink glittering license plate frame.
That's
This-
far enough. No, Mr. Eberling, in the back, please, have a seat. This is, attorneys are working up in this part. Go ahead and have a seat on the other side of the courtroom from Mr. Chacon, please. Officer Massey, please continue and wrap up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you hand me exhibit, please? No,
This right? Yes.
Yes, thank you. In this case, we simply don't have any foundation to know if this license plate frame is the frame of that night, because the registration clearly, logical reasoning tell us this is almost a year later. We have no idea if this is the frame of that night. And other than the plate, I would agree it's the same plate, XCXU Q30.
Nice.
There's no other foundation that we have enough to say this is the exact same scenario with the stickers as that night. So I would object to this being interest evidence.
Objection noted. This is a motion here. The court did review these motions prior, and I'll be plain. Let's move this along, Mr. Valenti. Not blaming you, but I am, because you said Ms. Cairns told you this was at 2:00. You're an hour late. Please let me make the record. Don't interrupt the court. You're an hour late, and whether that's your fault or Ms. Cairns' fault, I don't really care. I reviewed these. This, I'm going to admit Exhibit B. It is from the next year. So what weight I give this, I don't know, but it's consistent with Corporal's testimony about the glittery or sparkly or...
So she's a drug dealer that carries drugs in her car. She got pulled over because her registration was covered. Did she fix it? No. A year later, they got a picture of it.
bedazzled license plate frame, and it's consistent with this testimony that it kind of cuts across some of the stickers. So it appears to be a fair and accurate rendering of the license plate frame. And again, I'm on point with the issue here. Counsel for both sides is jumping around. These motions filed by Ms. Kearns are confusing. For example, what's the difference between D5 and D6? Why file two motions when this is the issue? So please move it along and be efficient with the testimony. We're now back to the basis of the stop. I'm prepared to rule on that, and then I'm prepared to address the Redinger issues, and that's for the court to determine, not using non-legal terms such as turn and mission and et cetera. It's the constitutionality of the interaction between the officer and the citizen in this case. So B is admitted, the objections noted, but that goes to weight, not admissibility in the court's determination. Next question, Mr. Valenti, if you guys want this.
We have copies, Judge. That's the court's copy. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll give this to Mr. Martinez to include with the record. Next question, Mr. Valenti.
Okay, so the detention continued after your first kind of mission was resolved.
Yeah, we had to write this citation or summons into court for that.
And you already told this court that she was already on your personal radar for potential drug distribution.
Yeah, the police department's radar.
You were aware of citizen complaints regarding her residence already?
At the time, I don't believe I was. I don't know if Detective Z advised me that there was complaints or what. I just know he told me that there was a residence they were looking at for illicit narcotic sales.
Okay. And you discussed that with other officers, those complaints?
Detective Z I discussed it with.
So you suspected drug activity of her vehicle before you even saw her vehicle then?
Of the residence or the vehicle?
The vehicle.
I guess I'm kind of lost with what you're trying to ask here.
You suspected that Miss LeBlanc, if that was her driving the vehicle, is someone that may be either possessing or using drugs inside that vehicle before you even saw the registration sticker.
You can purchase that bedazzled Windex bottle for $103 plus shipping and handling. And they sell. They sell all the time. $100 for that bedazzled Windex bottle.
I didn't know she was driving. So I lost your question. Sorry.
So if she's the driver, right?
Yeah.
You already had the suspicion that she's potentially either a drug user or a drug dealer before you even got to her driveway.
I don't know how to answer that. I knew that she was, like I said, I was advised that she was being investigated, being watched for illicit sales. You're asking that I knew the vehicle was hers and that was who was driving it? No.
No, I'm asking your suspicions about Miss LeBlanc personally before you had any information about the
Objection has to happen.
registration. He hasn't answered the question.
Sustained. The officer has testified this. It's 9 p.m. It's dark. The officer's testimony is he doesn't know who's driving the car. He pulls the vehicle over. The officer's testimony is that after he identified the driver and after the initial contact and communications, through his recollection of a fellow officer, a narcotics detective, he connected the name, Ms. LeBlanc, and the address where the car was parked and became concerned about drugs and then proceeded and, in his words, wanted to do an open air sniff because the dog was present. That's the legal issue for the court. The officers answered this. Move on. Objection
Okay.
sustained.
Moving on, I want to talk about how you approached the car. So you approached her without drawing your sidearm.
No, it's a traffic stop. We don't pull our sidearms unless there's a threat.
Okay, so there was no threat from Miss LeBlanc when you approached the car in the driveway.
At the time when I was walking up to the vehicle, except when the door opened up, that's probably the only time I had a concern.
And you never treated her as a threat throughout the traffic stop.
No,
Okay. And Canine Goose, he was already present at the scene.
goes everywhere with me.
He goes everywhere with you. He was deployed during that traffic stop.
Correct.
And Goose can't effectively sniff the vehicle when people are inside the vehicle. Is that fair?
No,
He can sniff the inside of the vehicle?
like sniff the exterior of the vehicle, you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah, there's no inside of it. I've done it before, like probably once,
Flip-flop
twice.
again, Michael.
Don't like
Again.
doing it.
Yes, you don't like doing it because it's not as effective to have anyone inside the vehicle.
That's for officer safety, so I don't get shot and I go home at the end of the day.
Yes, so for
I'm
officer
telling
safety,
you,
when you run
boys.
Goose, you want to get everyone outside of it.
I'm telling you, I'm going to knock your teeth out. This is a threat. It is a felony. You pushed me into a felony. You knew I was on the edge of felonies. And now you pushed me into a felony. Terroristic threats right here on YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay. So Goose was never deployed in this case until the vehicle was emptied out completely.
Correct.
And after you ran, so you ran the dog, we went through all that. After you ran the dog, that's when you walked back to Officer Samantha and told him to write up the
beloved.
warning
Beloved.
Right, the warning for,
for the registration sticker.
I believe that's what was my body cam, then yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so he handled all that paperwork for you.
Yeah, he looks, I asked him to write the citation for the license plates to be attached, I think the charge was, and then failure to provide proof of insurance at the time. After, like I said, we ran Goose, I had indication that there was a illicit narcotics
So
present,
not a felony.
everything stops there. There's no more citation that we need to continue writing to.
Except Snoopy, I'm gonna carry through. I'm gonna follow through with my threat. I'm gonna punch them, both of them, Bobby and Bren. Hi, Lacey. Lacey, I won't punch you. Don't worry.
We're not going to release her. So if I said give her a warning now, I don't know. I just said we're now doing a probable cause search.
Gotcha. And that whole warning process, the whole process you just described with Officer Sarmiento, that could have been all completed. The traffic investigation, your initial mission of this stop, could have been completed without a dog sniff. Is that fair? You don't need a dog to do a traffic investigation, is the question.
No, you don't need to. It's not necessary, but I mean, it's a tool.
Is that normal to remove people from a car when they're discussing registration stickers on the vehicle?
Can be.
Okay. What about this particular case made you want to remove her from the vehicle to talk about the registration sticker?
That's like I said, from my prior knowledge, her being involved in illicit narcotic activity. Pennsylvania versus Memphis, I can remove anyone and all passengers out of the vehicle for no reason at all. And that's exactly what I did.
So I just
I'll
want
take the
to
felony.
focus in on this
Option
term one
three.
more time. So before Goose was deployed,
Mhm.
there's not any new evidence that we need to inform the court of for drug activity other than we already stated.
Yeah, that's sustained.
That means you work hard, Snoopy.
I want to talk about
Work hard.
Goose's ability to, you said that he can train on several different illegal substances.
He's trained on 5 illicit narcotics.
One of those 5 is fentanyl.
Correct.
Okay,
Goose.
at this point, I'm going to step in because this is what I asked the parties to focus on. And the court has before it the order out of case number 2024 CR 112 regarding from district court, People versus Warner. I continued Ms. LeBlanc's motion hearing because it was represented that Ms. Kearns would be in trial. This case did not proceed to trial, but I reviewed a copy of the order. And Judge Neumar Olson has ruled on Goose's training and other factors surrounding it. It's not relevant to what I'm going to rule on today. I'm going to follow that law. So, do you have anything else with regard to?
Yes, Judge, this chapter,
Motion 5 or defense motion 6?
yes, this chapter is not about, I'm not asking any questions related to that order that the court cited. I was there and Officer Van remembers me being there for that case. And we talked a lot about Goose's training and things, but I'm not actually going into that. I'm going into the motion that deals with the reason to object here is that fentanyl can be legal and Goose can't tell whether it's illegal fentanyl or legal fentanyl.
That's not going to be relevant to this court's determination today with regard to defense motion 5 or defense motion 6.
Okay, given that ruling, I'll move on, Judge. So when you first asked, I want to talk about the search of Ms. LeBlanc's person. When you first asked her to exit the vehicle, you did not pat her down. Is that fair?
Correct. She was wearing tight fitting its clothing. So if there's a weapon like a handgun, I'd be able to see the indentation on it.
Okay, and you didn't feel the need to secure her in any way while you did the search?
At the time when I had her pull out, I don't usually typically do that unless there's a probable cause, like obviously plain view, or once a canine sniff is conducted, then we can put her in our custody.
And when she was outside the vehicle, you weren't concerned for your safety at all based on her behavior?
I'm always concerned for my safety.
But not in a way that you would have had to put her in handcuffs or put her in a police car or take any kind of defensive maneuvers to make sure you stayed safe while she was outside the vehicle.
I was trying not to traumatize her nieces and nephews that were there. Usually when people see loved ones such as parents, aunts, uncles going to handcuffs, it traumatizes them. So for the kids' well-being, I was trying not to traumatize them, put her in handcuffs. I was trying to let her be there to hopefully calm the nerves of the kids of why they're being stopped while they're sitting outside the curb
While you search them, while you search the kids.
and so forth.
Understand. So I'm going to finish up here with just making sure we understand the timeline. So the stop initiated at 9:12 p.m.
Roughly correctly.
And you kind of resolved that registration sticker issue when you looked at that flashlight at 9:17.
It was still wasn't clearly visible. So once I was able to look over, I said it was visible, but the issue was still not clearly visible, which is the main reason I pulled her over.
The question's about the investigation into the license plate, not the writing of the ticket or the paperwork you had to do, but the investigation that you did into the license plate itself and the registration sticker was complete by 9/17.
That's what it says on Bodycam. I guess that's your answer.
Okay. And she was ordered out of the car at 9:14.
That's what it says on Bodycam.
And children ordered out of the car a couple minutes later than that.
Ordered out of the car again?
The children were ordered out of the car.
Yeah, that's
after Miss LeBlanc was ordered out of the car.
that's what it shows on Bodycam, then correct.
And that was just a couple minutes later.
That's what shows correct.
Okay. And then you deployed Goose at 9:18.
Yeah, that's what shows on Bodycam.
Okay. And then you began your search after that at 9:22.
Yeah, that's what it shows on Bodycam.
And the citation writing happened at 9:24.
I don't know when the citation portion started.
It would have been on Bodycam that's admitted into evidence
Correct, it should have been.
that we just watched.
Not by me. Like I said, I didn't write the citation. Officer Sarmiento wrote that. So whenever that's on Bodycam, that's when it started. I asked him to write it when he was able to get back to his vehicle.
And that whole video we watched of your whole body cam is just under an hour. Is that fair?
Roughly correct.
Okay. And you said that the average time for this type of case is 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, if I'm right, it's a typical speeding ticket. See no signs of reasonable suspicion. There's no prior knowledge of anything that raises concern. Then yes, it go from 10 to 15 minutes. But with reasonable suspicion or prior knowledge, investigate further.
Okay. And I understand you wanted to change your mission and turn to investigating a drug dealing or drug possession investigation. But what exactly remained to be investigated regarding the registration sticker once you looked at it there with your flashlight?
If the question you're asking is, I have a sole purpose of mission, I don't. Every traffic stop can go, like I said, when you contact a vehicle for speeding, it could turn into a DUI arrest. It could turn into a homicide investigation. It could turn into anything. There is no one-step mission on a traffic stop.
But once you saw that registration sticker, your investigation role for that part of the traffic stop was complete. Is that correct?
I think we're on the wrong page together. So I was initially pulled over for the registration being partially covered, not clearly visible. I think you're asking me once I was able to see it, that's when my investigation is done?
Into the investigation on just the license plate issue.
I don't know how to correctly answer that. Because the reason is
It's ultimately for the court to determine. Mr. Valenti, I've asked you a couple times, you're ignoring the court, you're using these terms like mission and turn. They're not how I'll frame my ruling. You've asked, and this has been answered. So
Okay, no
again,
further
we got
questions.
started an hour late, so I'm trying to be patient, but please wrap up. The officers answered this question. The record is clear. Let's move on for the court's ruling on this case so we can then turn to the other case and any motions are outstanding on that matter.
No further questions for this issue, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Any redirect or may the support?
Very briefly.
Officers have done. But do you have any?
Yes, very brief. Yeah.
Very brief.
Yeah, sure. Corporal, just since these license plate thing is very confusing, I just want to kind of clear it up. The reason you pulled over Miss LeBlanc is because the plate has been obstructed by some foreign object that is not clearly legible from the far.
correct.
And even though once you get closer, you can see upon closer, it does not solve the problem when you are far, you can't see it clearly.
Correct.
Now, had this been a different situation, let's say if Miss LeBlanc has a temporary plate, like those papers that tells you, hey, this plate expired, whatever date it is. Let's say you pull over her for that thing being not valid or whatever. But once you get closer and you see that plate being completely legit valid, that would just conclude, that would be a different scenario, right? You would just let her go.
Correct.
No citations needed.
Correct.
And if you remember correctly, I paused the video when you done a dog search at around 8 minutes and 58 seconds. That's from the beginning when you initiate a traffic stop to when you done the dog search.
Correct.
And you would, and that would be less than even 10 minutes
Correct.
on your average traffic stop.
Correct.
Nothing further, Jan.
Thank you. Let me step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses for this state?
Officer Sarmiento. Yeah. May I go outside of the court?
Is he relevant to D5 or D6?
Yes, he's the officer that ran this citation. I'll be real brief.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There's a gentleman out in the hall, Mr. Eberling. Can you make sure he didn't leave? See personal. Officer, let me swear you in. Do you swear and affirm under the penalty of law, including perjury, that all facts, information, and testimony of present will be the truth, and go ahead and state your name for the record. Spell your last name.
Leonel Sarmiento. Last name is Sarmiento.
Go ahead, Mr. James.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Officer Sarmiento. How long have you been a police officer?
3 years.
Okay. Is that your whole law enforcement career?
Yeah.
Which department are you with?
Alamosa Police Department.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, on June 27, 2025, approximately 9 p.m., are you on active duty that day?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell the court what happened that night?
So we were on a traffic stop. It was Corporal Van Rys traffic stop.
Okay.
And it was at an address on, I believe it was on Edison.
Okay. Okay. And what was your job when were you with Corporal Van Rys, or were you showed up later?
So I showed up after Corporal Van Rys. So just as a cover car.
Okay. Like how close were you? Like, so once the corporal made the traffic stop, how soon did you arrive?
I'm not sure about that.
That's okay. What did you do regarding this traffic stop?
So on the traffic stop, I helped Corporal Van Rys search the vehicle, and then I helped him write a citation.
Citation. Do you remember if you write the citation first and then search the vehicle, or vice versa?
I don't remember.
That's okay. Do you remember did you remember if you seen Corporal Van Rys do a dog sniffing of the vehicle?
Yes.
Do you remember when he was sniffing the vehicle? What were you doing when he was sniffing the vehicle? He using the dog to sniff the vehicle.
I can't remember if I was outside of the vehicle or if I was in my unit. By vehicle, that's what I mean, my unit, or outside of my unit.
Okay. Do you remember if you said you were asked by Corporal Van Rys to draft a traffic citation?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how long it takes for you to draft a traffic citation?
So there really is no set time,
Okay.
just because everything's electronic.
Yeah.
So usually it just depends on the equipment.
Do you remember on that night, just approximately how long it took you to? First, let's start this. First, can you tell the court when you do a traffic stop and you need to draft a citation, what's the procedure like? Do you have like the device, look up the law, things like that?
So we have a device, and we have several options on that device. Sometimes we have to pair it to a printer first, and then it takes time. Sometimes the device has to connect to Wi-Fi, or sometimes we have to connect it to a hotspot if it's not working.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of different.
Okay. And when he asks you to write a citation, do you also need to double check, like with dispatch or something, to make sure there's like no warrant or license being suspended, things like that?
So usually we run the license first. Dispatch will let us know.
Okay.
I usually have dispatch send what we call a 27 and 28, which is the driver information and vehicle information. And dispatch will send it over to our terminals. Then we have to log on to our terminals and
even
the process.
And that's the same process even for like a simple traffic infraction?
Yes.
And do you remember if you followed that procedure that night?
I don't remember, but usually when I'm drafting the citation for somebody else, like in this instance for Corporal Van Rys, in order to get all of her information and all of the vehicle information, I have them send it to my terminal anyway. This way I could.
What do you mean send to your terminal?
So my terminal is just my computer and my unit.
Okay.
When I have dispatch send it to my terminal ID, this way I could have her information and then write the.
Do the whole 9 yards of the process. Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
So the average stop time it takes to do a registration ticket would be about 10 to 15 minutes.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. This stop took about an hour.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. May step down, officer. Next witness for the state.
No more witness from state, Your Honor.
Not for this issue, Judge. I do have witnesses. Next one.
Okay, I'm likely to continue that and reset. But on this case, 2025M551, any argument, please focus on
Sure.
D5.
Very briefly, Judge, this issue comes down to that Rodriguez moment, and it's when the police officer makes that turn, when they change their mission from a traffic fact-finding investigation, and it turns to looking at something more. That turn, now you don't need in this state probable cause to run a dog train the way Goose was pursuant to the court's order. I had that one caveat that we do believe that there should be probable cause because fentanyl could technically be legal, but arguing arguendo, I'm going to remove that from my argument, but there still needs to be reasonable suspicion to extend the stop beyond that normal time it would take to do an investigation into a license plate. So this picture here is not exactly from that night, but the court can kind of see, even if it was altered just a little bit, that wouldn't take too long of a fact-finding mission to figure out whether or not that license plate was valid, to call it into dispatch. We heard a lot of different testimony from 2 different officers, but the average time is about 10 to 15 minutes. We also heard from the horse's mouth himself, from Officer Van Rye, that he did want to change that mission. He wanted himself to change from a traffic violation stop pretty quickly into a full-blown drug investigation. And that's what that case law that Ms. Kearns filed talks about. And that's really what that Rodriguez moment that the U.S. Supreme Court talks about. And it's that change. And at that moment, the court needs to analyze what reasonable suspicion the court or the officer had at that moment, which here was very, very light. And it's our argument that at that exact moment, there simply wasn't enough. There were some vague conversations with other officers. I think he explained it in full. I tried to develop it as much as I could, but there really wasn't very much there. And so at that Rodriguez moment, I'm asking the court to not find reasonable suspicion to extend the stop any farther and to really look at and take a hard look at that time. Again, and that's when that mission turns, and some people call it the Rodriguez moment, some people call it the mission, some people call it the turn, but that precise moment is what I think the court should be focused on. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just as to D5.
D5, yes, Your Honor. The people would argue that the Rodriguez case the defense mentioned was actually distinguishable because this is never a traffic stop that has been prolonged. Now, however, the whole investigation, once the dog find out the sniff out the drug, obviously extended this whole investigation because at that time it turns into an investigation about drug. But Your Honor, we have testimony from Corporal Van Rye and Officer Sarmiento. It appears that when Officer Sarmiento was drafting that citation, it happened concurrently with when Corporal Van Rye was conducting the open air sniff. And Your Honor, we can see the timeline, and I have paused the video multiple times to make the record of the timeline. The dog initiate the sniff around in the video sniff started around 6 minutes and 55 seconds, ended the sniff around 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Once the dog finished the sniff, the total traffic stop from the beginning when Miss LeBlanc was pulled over is only 8 minutes and 58 seconds. So, Your Honor, at that time, this stop has not been prolonged. It's only upon that time when Corporal Van Rye learned there's a possible alert is when at that time the traffic stop became a drug investigation, which at that time Corporal Van Rye does have a PC. And Your Honor, the reason the Rodriguez should be distinguished from this instant case is that Rodriguez, the factual basis, the officer asked the defendant in that case that they would have conduct an open air sniff after the traffic mission has been concluded, and the defendant in that case was actually served the citation already. So that's clearly factually distinguishable from this case. And another case that the court, I believe court mentioned earlier that the court was about to address too, the Redinger case. Your Honor, the factual basis is somewhat similar, but still philosophically or factually different. In the Redinger case, it was a observable temporary plate where the officer was questioning if it was valid. And once the officer approached and find it was valid, that entire basis for the stop is extinguished. However, Your Honor, in this case, the Corporal Van Ryn has testified, and it's not about the validity of the registration or the plate, is that the plate is being obstructed. And even, Your Honor, taking the defense exhibit today, we can clearly see the plate is not going anywhere. So even if the officer can see it upon manipulating his body and look from a different angle, he can see clearly upon close. It does not it does not eliminate the law under the license plate law, which requires be clearly visible all the time. So it's still not visible from afar. So, Your Honor, that's why.
The Redinger, it was at night, the Redinger plate or tag was up in the window. If you look at 42.3.202 and 42.3.203.
Yes.
It seems like it's supposed to actually be affixed in the same place.
Right.
The Redinger court said once the officer sees that plate, there's no, unless there's separate independent grounds.
Sure.
That's the issue for me. Corporal Van Ryn testified. He realized who the driver was. He connected Ms. LeBlanc's name with the address, and his testimony was he realized from listening to a different narcotics detective that this was something he should be concerned about. What gives him grounds to run the dog at that point? That's the real continued contention. That whole mess at the end about how long it takes to write the ticket, that's not the issue before me. If he wants to write a ticket, he can write a ticket, or he can say, no, I'm not going to waste the ticket or time on this. I see the plate, and there's a simple conversation. But that's really the break with the dog. And what's the grounds there? I mean, the officer was right. Good police work.
Right.
I'm not going to rule on this equity. The kids had to get out of the car. I mean, I saw the exhibit. There's a tube comes out of the brassiere, and there's loose fentanyl pills in that same vehicle with the car. The kids should be out of there, away from all that. But there's a constitutional question under People versus Serta, People versus Redinger, People versus Hayes, and People versus Baldwin. The Rodriguez case, the facts aren't really, I mean, I understand generally that.
Yes, Your Honor.
But this is a super discreet, and I do see it. The facts in Redinger was when the officer went up, Mr. or Ms. Redinger, I don't know if it's Mr. or Ms., had a bunch of meth right on his or her leg. And so the officer could see it.
Right.
And the court still said, once the plate is square, that's an investigatory detention. It's not supported by independent or separate grounds.
Right.
So how are you distinguishing this? Because the independent or separate grounds, the officer told me, but none of that's occurring at the moment.
Right, Your Honor.
In terms of the evidence and testimony as I've heard it.
Your Honor, I guess my argument comes from the point that I understand the cases the court mentioned. I believe also, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's McKnight or some other case that mentioned there does require some sort of nexus. So just the fact the house that is being parked by the defendant has being reported of suspected drugs or have previous history of suspected drugs is not enough to show PC, obviously, search a vehicle. I think what I'm coming from is that the whole traffic stop, because there's clearly Supreme Court rules, both in the federal level and Colorado state level, that the open air sniff, as long as it doesn't prolong the stop, it's okay. And my argument is that it did not prolong the stop, because even though that time the investigation for the plate is over, the officer needs time to write the the ticket itself. And I did cite in my response the Baker case.
Another officer's coming on and writing. That doesn't give the original officer extra time when that officer's farting around or dragging his feet. No offense. I mean, just taking his time to get things done. I mean, you don't have free reign to do whatever while that ticket's being written.
I see that issue, Your Honor, but if
Van Rye can't clone himself. He can't write the ticket
for sure,
or send her on, or say, oh, I see it, no good, and simultaneously handle the dog.
Yeah, no, I see the issue. Obviously, he can't be doing two things at the same time. My question is, it doesn't matter which officer is writing and which officer is running even if Corporal is to write the ticket himself, he'll probably take the same amount of time. Because if I pause the video at 10 minutes, 28 seconds, he already announced PC after the dog sniff to Miss LeBlanc. So Officer Sarmiento is basically taking the same amount of time, if not less time, to while he was drafting not only drafting a citation, but also doing the routine procedure, which the case I cited, the Baker case, United States versus Baker, it's actually a pretty recent case, 2024 from 10th Circuit. The Baker court did hold that inquiries and safety precautions related to traffic mission can always extend the stop, including inspecting driver's license, registration, proof of insurance, searching for outstanding warrant, and quote unquote negligible burdensome precaution, quote unquote, taken for officer safety, such as ordering the occupants exit the vehicle during a stop. And Officer Sarmiento did testify, like when I'm writing up the ticket, it's run the license plate. He said have his station, meaning his vehicle, have the dispatch run the license to make sure it's valid, run insurance, run the active warrant, and those all take time. And even that, Your Honor, take into account. At 10 minutes and 28 seconds, and the Corporal Vera already announced that, hey, like we have positive alert of drugs. So that alone, it's even on the shorter side of what Corporal Van Rye has testified that on average, even a very simple traffic infraction takes about 10 to 15 minutes to accomplish from beginning to the end. And Your Honor, based on that, I do argue that the stop itself has not been prolonged. It's a pretty standard time frame of a stop. And since Ms. LeBlanc does not have a constitutional right of the open air around her car, Corporal Van Rye should be able to run it while another officer is drafting a citation, no matter how small the infraction is. And that will be my argument.
What about the fact that her car was in her driveway, presumably in her property?
Your Honor, I did
pulled over on this, side of the road along like a public way or public access.
Sure, Your Honor, I did see that issue. I don't see defense file for that issue, but I did see that coming. My argument, I guess I don't have it obviously because I didn't answer to that issue because it hasn't been raised. But my argument to it is because it's an extension of a traffic stop. If we a Corporal Van Rye testified, he was following the vehicle from the gas station Alta all the way to Ellison, whatever that name is, to the avenue until the vehicle pulled into her driveway. So it's a continuous traffic stop from the public road to Ms. LeBlanc's private property. Now, Your Honor, I can't really cite any cases for you, but this seems like a very I want to say common sense, or I want to say a slippery slope, because if a suspect can always just drive into their own private property and therefore the officer lose the ability to conduct a traffic stop, that seems to be a way.
I'm not going to rule that. That's way too far.
So
this is a license plate violation as opposed to something.
No, I like that. I like that rule. Like, when we're kids, we were playing tag and you got on base. That's it. You can't tag me. I'm on base. Sorry.
Serious nature. There's hot pursuit.
Right.
Exigent circumstance. There's all kinds of exceptions. So I understand your argument.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that will be my argument. Thank you.
Any argument from the defense with regard to the
driveway? Yeah, very. I mean, just the driveway is just the home is like the most sacred place, that most privacy interest. But could I just recap in just 2 to 3 sentences the basic gist of my argument, Judge, in reaction to
That's
that?
your argument.
Okay, never
I
mind.
understand your argument. What's
Thank you.
confusing is, and frankly, there could have been, D5 and D6 are almost the same motions. So, these weren't timely filed. They're filed, they're confusing. Then there's all these motions that are not really, that I'm probably not going to get to today. So, I'm going to frame it as D5 because D5 and D6 really raise the same issue. This is a motion to suppress. And what the legal issue really is before this court is simply, did the reasonable and articulable suspicion, which is the standard for the initial traffic stop and contact, did that evaporate? And was there a prolonged detention? There's 3 categories of interactions between law enforcement officers and citizens. Number 1, consensual encounter. Number 2, investigatory detention or seizure. Number 3, detention associated with a formal arrest. And that's the continuum that whether you're an officer or a citizen, you have to understand Constitution. And so it's really that second category, which is what the court's being asked with us today. Like, how far can that go? Because I'll tell you, this is a lawful and constitutional traffic stop. The court has before it testimonial evidence today from Corporal Van Rye. Exhibit 1, his body camera or camera footage was the DVD. It was played contemporaneously during his testimony, and the court had the opportunity to watch that DVD. That could have been filed previously, and I would have watched that, but I was able to watch it today during the hearing. And then Exhibit B, the photograph, which the court admitted to show basically the situation of the license plate and the frame around the plate itself. So I find, based on the evidence, that on or about June 27th of 2025, Corporal Van Rye was in full uniform working, doing his job as a police officer within the city and county of Alamosa. And he contacted after 9 p.m. when it was dark, a vehicle being driven.
So the judge gets a little fuzzy here. All he's doing is just reiterating everything that he heard. We'll be able to hear his decision once he finishes, summarizing.
Ultimately by Ms. LeBlanc, who's present in the courtroom. She's been identified as the driver of that vehicle. Corporal Van Rye did not know she was the driver when he initiated the traffic stop, but he was following the vehicle and he observed a license plate frame that was partially covering the bottom of the tabs, the month in the left corner, the year in the right corner of the license plate. And he stopped the vehicle to investigate further. Corporal Van Rye's testimony to the court did provide reasonable and articulable suspicion to believe that the driver of the vehicle may have been violating a traffic law. And that's what the standard requires. Can the officer explain clearly what the basis was, whether he thought there might have been a violation of the traffic law, whether there was or was not? It's constitutional if you can explain clearly to the court. And Corporal Van Rye's testimony was clear to the court. That was the basis and the reason of the stop. And that's a constitutional stop. So the initial seizure by the officer of the driver is constitutional in this court's estimation. Now, and again, clarifying, reasonable and articulable suspicion that a traffic law has been or may be violated. And that's clear to the court. Now, once the driver, Ms. LeBlanc, pulled into her driveway, Corporal Van Rye got out and he walked up, and it's clear to the court on Exhibit 1 that the officer's looking at the license plate. There's people moving around, and the officer tells them, hey, stay in the vehicle. And he gets close enough then to see that there is in fact a sticker in the bottom left corner showing a month and the bottom right corner showing a year. That's
So he's summarizing the case law that the lawyers and him researched. This isn't what happened on this step. This is just they're citing these other cases, and that's what he's talking about. So don't get confused.
consistent with the requirements of 42.3.202, which is in connection with 42.3.203. Basically, the statutes covering how plates have to be attached and Exhibit B, is it exactly how it looks to the officer that night? No. Is that a fair and accurate representation of what the plate would have looked like? I find yes. And the numbers are clear to the court. I did listen to testimony with regard to what I'll call this, the officer used a particular number that I'm forgetting, but basically a split 8 to show a 3. It's not covered so much that the numbers and the ballot, the validity of the month and year are clear. And the officer testified. When I walked over, I looked past the glitter pink part. I could see that it was valid. And so the officer did testify to that, and his testimony is straightforward to the court. On Exhibit 1, it's about 2 minutes, and I don't know what time it was, but just on the exhibit, the timestamp 2 minutes, and then the officer walks back, and I could see at 4 minutes and 22 seconds, or approximately, it's basically consistent with his testimony, and he confirms the validity. At 5:59, Officer Sarmiento was writing a ticket or doing something. But Officer Van Rye testifies that at that point, he recognized and connected the dots, which he's a police officer, and he's recognized both the name of the driver he identified as Mr. LeBlanc and the address, and he became concerned about drugs. And at that point is when he decided to use Hughes, who was present in his police vehicle, but not involved in this at that point. And then ultimately at about 12:18, timestamp of Exhibit 1, the dog had alerted, leading to a search of the vehicle. 2 fentanyl pills were recovered, which was the basis of the drug misdemeanor 1 possession charge. So those are the facts I find. And I've made some initial findings with regard to the legality of the initial stop. This is a constitutional stop. The question, though, then becomes,
Here we go.
was the investigatory detention appropriate, or did it go too long because the basis of the initial stop evaporated? And that's all I'll say, evaporate, whether or not there was evaporation of the reasonable suspicion to support the initial stop. A couple cases that I cited, in People versus Serta, section 502, maybe one officer observed the back windshield, stopped the vehicle, approaching the vehicle. The officers determined that the craft wasn't in sufficient consequence to issue a ticket. The officer approached the driver, then asked for license. Later determined that it was driving a suspension. Colorado Supreme Court held that since the officer did not reasonably suspect that the defendant was committing a crime, the extension of the stop is not permissible under statute program, actually 16.3.1, and that any additional evidence
Not permissible.
And if these items closer, Mr. Bain does particularly cite the difference between the T-tag versus the permanent tag. But People versus Revenue, the officer initially stopped the driver for a suspected violation of the vehicle law, but learned from his investigation that his suspicion was unfounded. Officers conducting and following whether the police information without reasonable suspicion or probable cause was unwarranted. To put that differently, once the purpose of the initial stop has been completed, further detention requires an independent factual basis providing reasonable suspicion for the prolonged detention. in other cases, people with Mason, an officer can't just continue to continue after the initial purpose of the traffic stop is completed. Other cases that are on point with regard to license plates, people versus Hayes, temporary plates must be affixed in the rear, placed in accordance with the section. I don't know exactly how people versus Hayes and people versus Redinger together, because as I said, the Redinger placement of that plate, the way I understood it, it wasn't consistent with where it's supposed to be pursuant to the statute, but that's the state of the law. Another case, people versus Alton, law enforcement stopped because the plate was basically
She is very wise.
dirty. And so the officer couldn't really tell. And the court found that there was an ongoing violation there. But again, that was limited to writing the ticket unless they had some other independent grounds. In this case, Corporal Van Rye's independent grounds was something wholly different and unconnected. Again, was he paying attention in that whatever the proper term is, briefing, debriefing? Yes, that information turned out to be probably correct based on the finding of the 2 fentanyl pills in the vehicle. However, there was nothing that the court has from that information that connects it to what was happening after he pulled the vehicle over this evening. And so that's the way that's problematic for the state and why the court is granting defense motion 5 with regard to finding non-warranted continued investigatory detention after the evaporation of the initial reasonable suspicion again with the constitutional basis for the stop of Ms. LeBlanc.
So what he said was not constitutional, not admissible. They cannot use any of it after, like right before the dog started sniffing. They were not allowed to bring out the dog. They were not allowed to sniff her car with the dog because it's not constitutional. Yeah, not there because she actually did have fentanyl. So, you know, she probably is a drug dealer, probably. But it should also make you feel good because, you know, it's fair. Like they can't do it to a known drug dealer. They're not going to do it to us. You know what I mean? It's America. So there's rules. Everybody has to follow them. And even though the police want to, they can't. They just can't. But they just have to work a little harder. She did. She definitely got lucky there because that could have went either way. Because really, 8 minutes is not too long. It's not. That dog was sniffing in 8 minutes. So I think if the police officer himself wouldn't have answered those questions quite the way he did, you know, he answered them saying that he knew she was a drug dealer. He wanted to see if there was drugs. You can't do that. That is not constitutional. And you know, we wouldn't like it if it was done to us. So it can't be different rules for drug dealers too, even though they don't have to play by rules. And so it's not quite fair, but anyway. All right, guys. It's time. So, 4 days is a long time. I know it is. I know it is. But maybe when I get right back online, we'll do a nice marathon. I don't know though, because I don't want to spend all 4 days looking at court videos to get a marathon ready. But I might, you know, it might go crazy if I don't look at court videos. So, because it's all I do every day. I don't know if I'll be able to do 4 days without it. But get in Discord and talk, guys. Get in Discord and say hi and whatever. So, you know, we all know that everybody's okay. And I will too. If I have internet. If my cell phone makes it out there in the country, I don't know. I just don't know. So, you too, Martha. I'm going to miss you guys a lot. But hopefully you guys get in Discord and say hi every once in a while. I'll see you on Tuesday, guys. Bye.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator. She's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright. She's got that grace. Come join the fun. It's a welcome and play. I can count on distraction from my pain, 'cause this creator takes you there and back again. Kathy is the heart here, always in stride. Her work is hard, but her joy she can't hide. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her style is classy, she's always top shelf. Don't take my word, come and see for yourself. Her cases are new with a twist or two. I really like them, I believe you will too. A little lifeline passed along in rhyme. Why don't you join us? It's a guaranteed good time.